I tend not to visit too many state parks on my adventures. I found that they're kind of hit or miss. Some are actually pretty good, definitely worth it. Others are kind of a ripoff. It's just kind of like a lake out in the middle of nowhere with a couple picnic areas around it. This state park is actually one of the good ones. I'm in southwestern Utah. This is Snow Canyon State Park. This is a state park that I've been to a few times before, but I've never filmed it. I've never shown it to you guys on the channel. And the things that I've done here are kind of superficial, easy trails. I've gone rock climbing here. But today we're gonna dive a little bit deeper, a lot deeper into this state park in the form of like a 13-mile trail that goes around the main namesake feature of the state park, that being Snow Canyon. It's a beautiful morning and we can see some of Snow Canyon right here, the canyon itself. I'm headed off in this direction first of all, somewhere around here into these impressive white sandstone rock formations. And I'm getting a little bit of a later start than what I'd originally wanted. It was raining this morning. I got here right at sunrise, even a little bit before sunrise, which was about 45 minutes ago, but it was raining, and hiking in the rain usually isn't too big of a deal, but filming in the rain is annoying. And so I wanted to wait it out a little bit. I think we might still get occasional showers today, but overall, I think we've missed out on most of the rain. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm now at this little cove here called White Rocks Amphitheater, which is an appropriate name for it. It's just this little hollow in the rocks surrounded by cliffs, and it looks like there was an attempt to build a little lake or a reservoir here because there's a dam. And I guess that worked because, I mean, there is standing water in here right now. This must have been for cattle purposes at some point back in the day, but for now we're gonna head up this way somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where, but I'm aiming for somewhere high up on the ridge over this way, so let's see if we can figure that out. Well, after a little more than an hour here and a couple of wrong turns that led me to sheer drops or straight cliffs, I've made it to the top of the first point, the first milestone here. And I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there are some ambulances going up the highway over here. The road noise from the highway has been kind of constant, which is a little bit of a bummer, but the scenery is fantastic. So I started over here, my car is right there, and I went around to the White Rocks Amphitheater, which is right there, then up on top of this ridge, and I'm on top of a peak that I think is called White Rocks Peak right now. Down here in this valley right here is the city of St. George, which is the largest city in southwestern Utah. And just beautiful, beautiful scenery here. So this canyon is Snow Canyon. This is what gives the state park its name. This is basically the head of the canyon, so it starts here. And wow, this cloud is, like, as I speak, is enveloping me here. Anyway, the canyon continues on this way. We'll have views of it again in a minute here once this cloud passes by. This, by the way, is where we are. So we're in southwestern Utah, right here, like the bottom left corner of Utah is where we are right now. And this is the first day of a 3-day, 3-video trip. And I am, by the way, now completely socked in by this cloud. That's kind of cool. And so the plan is for these 3 days to spend them in 3 different states. So in Utah today, Arizona tomorrow, and then Nevada the next day. That's the plan. We'll see what the weather does. And as long as this cloud here is obstructing the view, I'm just gonna keep going. Just gonna work my way basically along the rim of Snow Canyon here. That is the plan for all of today. Just walk along the canyon rim, completely do a circuit of the state park basically, and of the canyon itself. Found a water bottle here tucked under this plant. Gonna take this out, probably fell out of someone's backpack. And check this out, this is very reminiscent of Zion National Park. This definitely reminds me of the east side of Zion National Park, just kind of these petrified waves here. I love the texture of this. And I think, let's see, yeah, I think I'm probably gonna be crossing this. Really interesting geology here. It looks like the rock is made up of soft pillows. Really, really neat. And the clouds are clearing and burning off a little bit. You can see more of the canyon behind me here. Check out this view. I'm on kind of a point sticking out into the canyon. Just awesome. It's really, really impressive. You can see the road that goes through the canyon. I think that's just like a biking and walking road. I'm not sure if you can drive that. Really beautiful. I actually just passed a group of like 8 people. I'm surprised that I've seen anyone else here. Let's see, can you see them right on top of that ridge right there? I think there's some sort of guided tour group or something, but incredible scenery here. Having a great time. All right, time for an update. It's been 3 hours and 15 minutes. I've gone about 4.5 miles, and I'm at a pretty popular viewpoint right now that you can hike to. So what I've been doing so far has been mostly off trail. There hasn't been a trail, but there is a trail to this point, and it is worth doing if you want to get kind of the highlights of what I'm doing today. So this is called Snow Canyon Overlook, and it's accessed via the Snow Canyon Overlook Trail. And this is Snow Canyon. At the top of the canyon, there's kind of this left and right fork. And this is all the state park, or at least mostly the state park. I think I'm in national forest land now. Most of this to the east here is state park, and then the west side, the right here, is national forest. And it is wilderness area. I think it's called Red Mountain Wilderness, something like that. Fantastic view. And so again, if you don't want to do the long hike that I'm doing today, this hike to here, I don't know the mileage to get to this viewpoint. If you hike to it directly, I'll put that on the screen here, is worth doing. And then that hike to the White Rocks Amphitheater, which was over here, kind of where I started, that is also worth doing. Interesting weather today, kind of moody, cloudy, and cool. Beautiful, beautiful place, and there's no one else here. I'm making progress here on my goal, which is to, again, encircle the whole canyon here today, but let me show you what I still have to do. I think I kind of need to pick up the pace a little bit here. So again, I started over here and have gone along this side of the rim, and I need to continue this way and then go along all of this out here, and then I'll be descending down into the canyon via one of these ridges out here, and then going back over to my car, which is over this way. This is just a sea of rock. There's just an immense amount of exposed rock within view here. This is looking down into the canyon, into Snow Canyon. Unbelievable. It's just such a raw and exposed landscape. And now, after about 10.5 miles and 6.5 hours of hiking, I'm ready to descend back down. Well, not back, because I haven't been down there today. Descended down into the canyon here. The plan is to descend this, I think it's this ridge, down this way, back down into the canyon here, where you can see this red sandy wash, and then follow that wash out to some trails, and then follow a series of trails back to the car over there. I have about 2.5 hours of daylight left, and I don't know if I'll be able to get all the way back to the car in that time, but I should be able to get back down off of this ridge and onto some real trails that I can follow back to the car. So I'm just happy to be back here. It's nice to be out of the snow, out of the cold and windy Wyoming winter, which I also enjoy, but you know, it's just nice to have some variety, and it's nice to just immerse myself to kind of soak in this beautiful red and white desert out here. So anyway, enough talking. Let me somehow figure out how to get off this mountain, how to get down this ridge. I'll film some of it, and then I'll probably get back to my car after dark and find a campsite. So I'll show you guys some of this ridge that I'm descending, which is super cool, by the way. And then I'll show you some snippets of as I hike back to the car, but otherwise, talk to you guys again. Whoa, back at camp. All right, guys, I'm tired. It's after dark. It's darker in person than it looks in the camera. And I've left the lights on so you can see a little bit of the campsite here. Well, dinner was, if not amazing, then satisfying. I had a triple-decker peanut butter and Nutella sandwich and 3 cheese sticks. That salt is really what I wanted tonight, so it was nice to get the salt from the cheese sticks there. And looking at my phone over here, as far as stats from the hike today go, it was 15.9 miles. Took me 9.5 hours with 2,516 feet of elevation gain. So long day, 16 miles, 9.5 hours. That's a long day. And they weren't easy miles, it wasn't on trail. There was some trail that I was able to find and follow, but mostly it was off trail, so not the fastest hiking in the world. And I have 2 other things that I wanted to show you guys here. I am in the RAV4 on this trip, by the way. You might have seen it at the start of the video, but the Land Cruiser is in the shop getting some work done to it. But I wanted to show you this. So this is my fridge, and I've added this thing these last couple of trips that I've been on in the RAV4. This is, I would unplug it, but then that would turn off the light bulb there. But it's a USB splitter, so there's a USB port in my fridge here. And my last fridge had that too. And for years, I never really used that. But then I realized, you know what? That is right next to me as I'm sleeping here, or as I'm laying down. That is very convenient because my power station, if we can see it, I have that kind of greenish thing down there. That is my power station, and it's just convenient to have it down there because it's not in the way of anything back here. But it's not convenient in the sense that it's just far away. So like if I want to plug something in or charge it, I have to kind of crawl over there. And so I have this here instead, and the fridge of course is running off of that battery, and so either way I'm using the battery, so it's just nice to have it be much more convenient here. And so I have one of these going to the USB light bulb that can change colors, by the way, to a white light or a yellow light, or kind of in between. And then the other one is just a lightning, where is it? Just a lightning cable for my iPhone. And speaking of my phone, so I'm in Google Maps here, and I wanted to show you something. This is the Google Maps satellite view. You can see that blue dot, that's me. And you can also see these, where's my knife here? You can also see these kind of circles in the dirt roads. So there's one, there are a couple here, right here, and just kind of other spots like that. This down here. These are all potential campsites. Whenever you see circles like that at the end of a dirt road or kind of off to the side of a dirt road, that's a good indication that that is a campsite, or at least that could be a campsite. So look for dirt roads, look for circles off of those dirt roads on public land. So I'm on, I think this is BLM land where I am now, not National Forest land. And then, yeah, look for the circles, look for the dirt roads, and you're golden. Not all the time, but usually. And by the way, one other thing that I wanted to mention is that if you are interested in the GPS track of my hike today, I've been putting those on Adventure Know-How, my membership website, if you want to go check that out. So that'll be there. It takes me a while. It's not going to be up today, I don't think, when you see this video, but give me a week or two and it'll probably be up. So I think that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the day's adventure. I know I did. Hope you enjoyed the scenery. Just beautiful high desert scenery. That red rock, that white rock. Can't beat it. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.